I'm sure that you've seen lots of people write effortlessly, and I'm going to tell you a couple of things. First of all, I'm going to tell you my experiences, and then I'm going to tell you a couple of things I think really help. I'm going to give you, I think, 4 points that are going to really help and change how you view the world of writing, and make sure that you actually do spectacularly well. So, my experience with writing is that I struggle with it. It's always been a very difficult thing. So I enjoy having actual tools that allow me to write a little bit more, things like ChatGPT and things like that. The Reciprocity project, the Reciprocity platform that I'm building, these kind of things. That's the reason why I actually built them. But I struggle at it, but there's many moments where it comes very natural to me and it comes a lot more easier. You can see I'm really quite prolific if you look at this channel in terms of what I could do. And I'm going to tell you some of the things that really help me out. The first thing that I think is really important is to do things and to talk about things, write things about what you actually really enjoy. So finding those things that you just find kind of naturally enjoyable. And we all have these things that are very much naturally enjoyable, that it has to be part of who you actually are. And then that's the second thing that I think, this is the second point that's incredibly important, is to find things that you actually know, right? There's lots of experiences that you know and that you are well aware of about your own life, that you can talk about for hours because you experience them, you've gone through them, you understand all of the ins and outs, you can really talk about them. I talk a lot about failure because that's an important thing in my life. I've dealt with that a lot and I understand it a lot. So I understand and I talk about it all of the time in terms of framing what I go through. Now, the third thing now is like something, know something. And then, the third thing I think is really important is to just document what is going on, right? Like, rather than thinking about how you can be impressive in some sort of way or know everything, right? Like we have a tendency to want to know everything, but instead it should be like, hey, why don't we just document what we actually did? And once you document what you did and sort of explore what you actually did in more detail, and you just go into more detail, it's a lot more fun. It's, instead of working on things and sort of being painful with it, it's just like, hey, let's just write about what we actually did. And as we are doing it, we just document it. That's why I really stress this on the YouTube channel, right? Like or any of the things that you see is just, be yourself, whatever that might be. And this is the fourth thing that I really wanted to point out, is that it's about removing a huge part of any of the blocks that you feel, or all of those things. It's because you're thinking that you need to write in a certain way to impress other people. You think that you need to have some sort of, your teachers have sort of drilled into your mind that there is a certain way of doing things, but it's just not true, right? Like, there is the only thing that you can get better at is just writing more, like just detail, put in more things. Like, don't worry about that it has to be perfect or laid out or any number of different ways. Just experience it and get through that sort of, that feeling that this is not good enough or what you're doing is imperfect. Like right now, I'm doing this in my car, right? Like, I'm actually talking in my car, waiting to get my car fixed. And for many of you, this might not be proper or anything like that, but it works for me. And this is my life. And so if I'm going to do any of this kind of stuff, I have to really detach from all of the significance of like doing it perfectly and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm just using my cell phone and really chatting with you as if that you are my friend. And I think that's the really important thing. Now, the fifth thing, and this is really hard. And I told you I would give you 4, and now I'm going to give you 5. It's a bonus. this is really difficult, is to find people that you are compatible with that makes it more fun, right? Like that is kind of a joy to be around. But this is the hard thing is it's like trying to find a, spouse that you actually like to be around all of the time. It's pretty difficult, right? We go through all of those moments of trying to find somebody. So don't expect that to work out very often. Just really think about, how can I make this more fun? How can I make this more enjoyable? Remove all of the stigma and all of the like, oh, like this is not good enough. Really talk about what you experience, that you go through. All of those things are really incredibly important. And then what you actually like, right? Like you're going to naturally gravitate towards some things that you actually like to think about, whether it's your hobbies or whether it's something that's going on. Just really go to those things. But as you're doing them, this is the trick. As you're doing them, read a little bit, write a little bit. Read a little bit, write a little bit. And as you get practice with doing that, the sort of reading and writing component of it, what you'll realize, and it's called abduction, by the way, that's the fancy term for it. But what you realize is that you will get more and more nuanced, and it's just a matter of time and just money spent or resources spent on getting your butt in seat or doing things to get this done. You'll realize that you can be extraordinarily prolific if you remove all of those sort of barriers that you think has to be perfect, or that there is a right way, or any of those things. You just be yourself, right? As if you are yourself. And then if nobody likes it, oh well, right? Try to find it until it becomes exciting, right? That narrative, right? Like, why is it that you like these things? Talk about the narrative behind it. Like, those things are incredibly important. And if you do this for a long enough time, you start getting your voice and it becomes a lot easier. All right, take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.